Okari nasai! On day 4, we explored Tokyo further. In the morning, we went to the Roppongi area in Tokyo. At the base of Mori Tower, you're going to find a very famous sculpture called Mammon. It's a bronze and stainless steel marble sculpture by artist Louis Bourgeois. The sculpture basically depicts a spider and is one of the largest in the world, measures about 30 feet high, and includes a sack of 26 marble eggs. The spider represents the artist's mother, especially since her mom used to repair tapestries in her father's textile workshop in Paris. When her mother passed away, the artist used this as one of her themes. In Roppongi Hills, where it's a very ritzy area, one of the theaters also had some pretty cool displays of Star Wars The Force Awakens, including the Stormtrooper and BB-8. Afterwards, we stopped by Park Hyatt for lunch. We went to the New York Grill at the top of Park Hyatt. There were some pretty amazing views of the city. It turned out, since they were really busy, they seated us near the cooking area. It was an incredible seat because you had some beautiful views of the city, but we also were able to see the cooks and the chefs preparing the food. Here's a quick glance at the menu. We started off with a glass of Roeder Estate Brew Champagne. The ambiance and the champagne, it worked perfectly. Since it was a clear day, you can even see Mount Fuji off in the distance. The buffet included a lot of high-end ingredients, including kabocha squash, as well as various different salads, including quinoa salad. The grilled Australian sirloin was perfectly cooked, seared with a beautiful sauce. Overall, the food was excellent, the ambiance was beautiful, and the views were remarkable. I would say it's definitely a place to take to impress the ladies or some friends for a high-power lunch. After lunch, we walked by the Marunouchi region of Tokyo and we noticed Patisserie Sadaharu Aoki, which is a famous patisserie pastry shop. He's known for using traditional Japanese ingredients and flavors in French-style pastries. To walk off some of those calories, we then walked towards Tokyo Station. Tokyo Station opened in 1914 and it remains the busiest station in Tokyo in terms of trains per day. After a long day of walking, we went to Hinokizaka, a 1 Michelin star restaurant in the Ritz Carlton, for dinner. The decor of the restaurant really set the mood with a zen-like garden feel and atmosphere. The restaurant has 4 main areas, including a kaiseki area, sushi area, tempura, and a teppanyaki area. We went to the kaiseki menu. To start, we had some umeshu as well as some kumquat drink. To start, we had a seafood starter with crab meat as well as some salmon roe. The crab meat was actually quite sweet and perfect. Great combination with the salty, briny salmon roe. Next came a very warming and delicious soup. The soup included the delicate and milky, creamy milt. Next came the sashimi dish, which included some high-end, very nice and fresh tuna. Additionally, they gave us some traditional Kyoto-style sushi. Next came the grilled fish. This was beautifully flavored and cooked. One of the highlights was this uni dish with some freshly grated wasabi on top. Next came the tempura dish. The tempura was extra crispy with a very nice spiciness to the shishito pepper. Lastly came the rice dish with very simple pickles and rice. This was a perfect, very nice end to the meal. Oops, I almost forgot about dessert. Dessert, actually very mild, not too sweet, and then it came with some perfect green tea. Very nice way to end. I really enjoyed this kaiseki dinner. It was exceptional. However, because we had the huge buffet for lunch, I don't think I fully enjoyed this experience, so I'm definitely going to go back with an emptier stomach. If you get a chance to go check out this restaurant, definitely do. It will be well worth it. For day 5, we decided to actually do a day trip out to Odaiba. Odaiba is a large artificial island in Tokyo Bay, just across the Rainbow Bridge. Here you can see the Rainbow Bridge in the background, but during the day it's not lit up yet. Walking along Odaiba really reminded me of being in New York again, with Tokyo being New York City and Odaiba being Brooklyn. Additionally, Odaiba has a replica of the Statue of Liberty, so you really feel like you're back in the States. Along with this America theme, Odaiba houses multiple shopping centers. They even have a food court that just specializes in takoyaki. There are multiple vendors from various parts of Japan at the takoyaki food court. We had some takoyaki, but afterwards we were still hungry, so we went to the ramen food court. We then went to Aqua City Shopping Mall, where they have a ramen food theme park. Within this theme park, there's different ramen from all over Japan. For lunch, we tried out 2 different types, including this, as well as this sukiman. This dipping ramen was incredible. The noodles were nice and firm, but the dipping sauce was truly an experience. It was very heavy and anchovy flavor, very strong, and it went very well with the noodles. Afterwards, we explored around the area and we actually found a very cool Back to the Future exhibit. Looks like somebody better get into that DeLorean quickly. In the shopping center, you also find this really cool looking fountain. Reminds me a little bit of Atlantis and of Las Vegas as well. In Odaiba, you'll also find the Toyota Mega Stage, or Megaweb. Here you'll find the newest, latest, and greatest that Toyota has, and you can try out and sample some of their new technology here as well. Here's a Land Cruiser. Here's another cool exhibit at the Toyota Megaweb. It's a driver test where it tests your reflexes. For race car drivers, you have to pass this hitting at least, I believe, 50 to 80% of the lights. On Odaiba, you'll also find Diversity Tokyo Plaza. Here, you will find a very unique attraction, which is the Gundam Front Tokyo, which shows various attractions and shops centered around the anime series. They have a life-size Gundam statue, which is remarkable down to every detail. Here's the front of the Gundam statue, and here's the backside. As the sun starts to set, the Rainbow Bridge starts to light up and you can see the Tokyo Tower in the background. I have to say the cityscape from Odaiba is truly a remarkable view, kind of like Brooklyn looking onto the New York skyline. Additionally, with the foliage change, it really looks like New York City. It is truly a beautiful sight. And with Lady Liberty all lit up, it almost reminded me as if I was in the United States. With this backdrop, we then went to dinner back at the ramen theme park where we tried out more different types of ramen. I really like this tonkatsu ramen where the broth was very thick and creamy. The next ramen, in contrast, was quite spicy, and it was a nice contrast to the milky, very mild flavored tonkatsu broth that we had before. The last ramen was very corn themed with a lot of vegetables and bean sprouts, and it was a nice finish to the dinner. After dinner, we took a couple of more pictures and walked around the area just to really soak up the views. If you're in Tokyo, definitely take a day trip out to Odaiba. You won't regret it. You have some beautiful views, some nice theme parks, really fun. For our last full day in Japan, we decided to go try out some Japanese beer. So we headed to Yokohama's Kirin Beer Village. The Kirin Beer Factory in Yokohama offers free tours through the beer factory and it lasts roughly around 60 minutes. On the tour, you'll see the various ingredients and processes that are used. Here you see the hops that they use. It was very hoppy. And here's the malt that they use. Though the tour is in Japanese, they do try to translate some of this to English if there are English-speaking guests. Here they demonstrate how Kirin Ichiban differs from other beers. Kirin Ichiban uses a first press process where they only extract the first press brewing from the malt. Here you get to taste the difference between the first press from Kirin Ichiban's malt press versus others. The first press definitely is a lot sweeter and more full-bodied than the other sample. After finishing the tour, we had to do the beer tasting. At the end, you get 30 minutes to sample as many beers as you want, but usually they give you 3. The selections on tap include Ichiban Shibori, the lager, and a stout, or basically a black beer. For our first beer, we had to try the Kirin Ichiban. This was very crisp, clean, very nice light beer. Next, we tried the Kirin Lager. The lager was a lot more hoppy and a stronger flavor. It was definitely full body. Lastly, we tried the Kirin Stout. The stout definitely was a very dark and rich beer. Not as rich as, say, like a Guinness, but definitely it was a full body, very flavorful beer. Of the 3 beers I tried, this was my favorite. Although I wouldn't drink this as an everyday beer, this definitely was my favorite of the day. In the gift shop, you can also find various products from Kirin, including these beer-flavored chocolates or beer-filled chocolates. To walk out the alcohol, we took a stroll through the Yokohama Beer Village Park. Afterwards, we headed back to Tokyo and went to a local soba shop to try out some soba. The soba was excellent and the tempura was great. Uni, a little stale, not the best, not the freshest, but overall, still a pretty good lunch for a good price. The rest of the night, we just walked around Tokyo to really just absorb and take in the rest of the city. One of the cool buildings we noticed was the NTT Docomo Yoyogi building. The building is located in Shibuya, Tokyo, and has a 15-meter diameter clock installed into the building. The height of the building is 240 meters and is one of the world's tallest clock towers. This was truly an impressive sight. For our last dinner in Tokyo, I had to get some meal. It was truly an extravagant luxury that I really enjoy. To fully enjoy this, you split up the unaju into 3 separate portions. The first portion, in your first bowl, eat it with just some Japanese pepper. And then the second bowl, you eat it with some seaweed and the pepper. And the third bowl, you do what you did for the second bowl, but you add in some of the hot flavored soup. And each bowl just gets better and better and more flavorful. What more can I say? This was truly a highlight of the whole trip. Really enjoyed it. On our way to the airport, we saw some really cool buildings, including the Nakagin Capsule Tower. The building is a mixed residential office tower designed by architect Kisho Kurokawa. The building consists of 2 interconnected concrete towers whereby each of the rooms is a prefabricated capsule. This modular design certainly offers a very efficient way to replace parts. However, this style has fallen into disrepair and disfavor. There have been talks of demolition for this building. However, there are some people who are trying to preserve this building due to its uniqueness. We'll see what the future holds. Once we got to the airport, we went to the ANA Business Lounge. This was, I have to say, hands down, the best business lounge I've ever been in. The whole lounge, very spacious, a lot of seats. There are also plenty of secluded cubicles as well. There's also plenty of food offerings and a huge food area. If you want spirits, there's 4 different types of sake that are on tap. Additionally, for a fee, there's a sake bar where you can try out higher end sake. In terms of the self-serve area, you have various sandwiches, sushi, as well as breads. There's also curry, salads, and soups. However, what really sets this business lounge apart is the noodle bar. You can order up to 5 different types of ramen or udon or soba dishes. So order we did, including a curry udon dish, which was excellent. Before I forget to mention, the ANA Lounge also had a special Star Wars video game that you could sit into. It's like a mini cockpit, and you could play as I believe as a TIE fighter pilot. Overall, I have to say the ANA Business Lounge, the best lounge I've ever been in, ever. After gorging ourselves on some good food in the lounge, we then got onto our 787, and since I'm a foodie, well, I focus on the menu. Here's the menu for the flight back. ANA has certainly won a lot of different awards for their food and for their service, as well as their wine selection. You can easily see why they've won so many awards, including their selection of high-end spirits, including Onryo champagne. As for the menu, Japanese cuisine was truly a delight. It's basically like a kaiseki menu. Alternatively, there are some international fare cuisine as well. What was very surprising was for the snacks, you could even get some Ippudo ramen. To start, we went with the Onryo champagne and the amuse-bouche. Then came the appetizers. The ingredients in this were all high-end ingredients, excellent flavors, truly a taste of Japan. For the main dish, we had the salmon with mushrooms and rice as well as miso soup. To finish off, dessert was a very light mousse consisting of layered chocolate, green tea, and soy milk cream. Overall, the service was exceptional as expected from a Japanese carrier. The food was top-notch. Overall, I give it a 5 out of 5. One of the best business class flights I've ever had. This is the 3rd trip my brother and I have taken to Japan, and even though we've been here 3 times, I still keep finding new, interesting, and just incredible experience here, not only from the food, to the people, to spirits, as well as temples and gardens. Can't wait to be back, but for now, sayonara Japan. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like it down below and subscribe to our channel to check out our other videos. Take care.